Hi to everyone. I'm really glad that we will share this evening together, and hopefully I will say and tell you something interesting enough. As Maggie told, we will have another round. We will have a workshop later if you want to join, but yeah, we will see. So just a few words about myself. So yeah, that's me. I'm a co-founder of an audio agency called VP Production. And basically, what we do is we create sonic identities for brands as well as games. That's why I'm here. What we do is we actually bring audio branding perspective into creating game audio, and that's what we're gonna talk about today. So if you want to ping me on whichever social media, you can just scan the code and say hi, or not if you don't want to. So today's topic is basically mixing branding and audio, precisely game audio, and we will talk about two main things you need to know to make your game sound outstanding. Let's start with basics because sometimes it can be tricky, this whole terminology and stuff. So there is such thing as branded game audio, and it is different from a typical game audio because it doesn't just fit the game, fit the context of gameplay. It's not just complementary. It also translates the game's the game product promise to the audience. It translates the core values and reinforce the overall game brand, because these days to be really successful, to have a really successful game product, you need to establish its brand. So yeah, and audio can and should be a part of this, because branded audio does another thing. It provides players with cohesive brand experience, because they hear something like a same tune all over the touch points of your game brand. So for example, not just in the gameplay but also on social medias, because you know how important it is to maintain the connection with your audience, as well as in trailers and you name it, and yeah, it provides game developers with increase of loyalty among their audience. So yeah, that's what it is. And not to bother you too much with me talking, here just a quick example. It's not working.
Can you hold the mic there?
It's not working. Your this thing. Yeah. The speaker is not working. Yeah. I won't sing it for you, but if you want, you can.
Apologies.
No, it's fine.
Maybe you could just hold the mic on the PC.
No, it won't work.
Okay.
We have a speaker over there.
We have a speaker.
It just got disconnected.
Oh,
Yeah.
disconnected.
And so yeah, So this, what you heard right now, was Ubisoft realizing the power of branded audio, like throughout the Assassin's Creed series, because once they created SEO team, like I'm sorry. So when it was first introduced, it got massive response from the audience, and it became kind of, you know, this tune that you really associate with the series. And if you noticed, like in the Assassin's Creed Unity, it wasn't as accentuated in a way, because at that time, even though Assassin's Creed Unity was the last game to be a real like Assassin's Creed game before Origins came, it wasn't accentuated that much. But then when Ubisoft started to distance a little bit from the original concept, they had to ensure that audience still knows and associates like new games with the series. And that's where like music started to help them like much with this. And if you notice it, like the last, like the Valhalla one, it was really a prominent tune. So it was like Ubisoft kind of saying like, this is still Assassin's Creed, you know. So yeah, and music plays a huge part in this. So because like there's just some comments like from YouTube like for this video, and so what you can notice here is that people say that it's an emotion. It's not just a theme. It's an emotion. It's like nostalgia inducing thing, and this is like precisely what branded music does, because it's not just a tune. It's like all of like associations you have with the series, all of the experience you have had in a game, they all come back whenever you hear the tune. And it works as well with a sound, like maybe you know this one, and recently it got like once again viral, and even for people who don't know the original, where it comes from, like they don't know Metal Gear Solid, but then like this sound used all over social media, it kind of induced like this interest to this to the series as well. And it works with voice as well, you know. And here, like a quick example. Yeah, and kind of give you this emotion, like an instant response, like emotional response. And this is what you want, like from audio, from branded audio. And yeah, it's about emotions and associations you want to create with your product. And so yeah, how do you do that? Actually, you really need to cover up all the basics. You need to know things about your game when you're creating it, like obviously. But yeah, you need to have you have to set the base with like obviously with a game story, characters, visuals, but you also have to spend some time and think about like product's promise, which emotions you want your players to feel, what experience, what feelings, like, and this you can put like in all of your emotional touch points. And you want to think about like 3 to 5 main like core associations you want to have with your game. For example, like I don't know, a feeling of a comfort, you know, for some games, and a feeling of like this adrenaline like coming to your head or something like this. And then you have to do like a really marketing stuff. You need to think about like portraits of your target audience, which is not just like female 35 plus, you know, because some clients come to us with this like we have this target audience which is like males 15 to like 60, and you're like, okay, I don't really understand what I can do with this information. And then you have to have like a list of your competitors, obviously, to know how to differentiate yourself like music wise from them. And yeah, which is like the last point, like points of product differentiation, how you are different, how you want to stand out of the crowd, you know. And so yeah, this is where solid audio concept and consistency come in. And yeah, every like audio specialist will do it like their way. And but I really want to accentuate on this, like emphasize on the consistency part, because what makes branded audio really branded is to like consistent use of it, like in all touch points, like not only like in one scene, you know, one cut scene at the beginning, and then the gameplay music is totally different and stuff. Yeah, And so, like how we do this, I will not talk too much about that, but just to give you an idea, just a second. And so yeah, we kind of came up with this pipeline a few years ago, and we tested it like multiple times already, and this kind of works because the first need, like what you need to do is to compile a technical task, which we can do as well. But in the workshop, actually today, I will talk about this if you want to know a bit about technical task for audio part. And then, yeah, it's an audio concept, which I talked about previously. So it's kind of, this building up the ideas of how you want to really translate your product promise and emotions associations into music. And then you need to conduct a niche competitors and target audience analysis, because when you know this information, it's basically you are unstoppable after that. And then, yeah, you can define the boundaries of your creative process by building like specific audio vocabulary, like instruments, timbres, whether there is voice, like in the Assassin's Creed theme, for example, or it's voiceless, or which I don't know, tempo you want to use and stuff, because it all reflects like the idea of your game. And then like we create what's called audio DNA, which is basically core theme, like main theme, like almost all the time. And then we're gonna test it, because as I said, like target audience here is the main thing you want to focus on, and you want to make sure your audio works for your target audience and it really translates those ideas you want like for them. And so whenever you have like an audio DNA which tests, you can like, this is the easiest part, you can create adaptations, which might probably this is our like sound effects, like singers or jingles, whenever you call it, and then you can create like trailer music, social media music, and all the stuff you want to. And yeah, and like and I encourage for you to test everything like all the time, as well as like people do like play tests of like core mechanics or stuff. You can also test music, and this is really important because you know like one small shitty sound can really ruin all the vibe of the game. So yeah, for example, when I first played Horizon Zero Dawn, there was a bug with like if you played it, there is like quite intense scene just at the beginning of the game when the mentor of Eloy dies. Actually, there was like a sound of yeah, but it was in the trailer, so it's not really a spoiler. So and there was a sound of machine gun, and it was bugged. And during all this TV cutscene, I heard this sound, and it ruined the cutscene for me because I was like, I want to cry really hard, but I can't because I'm really bothered by this sound. So yeah, you're gonna test those things as well. So yeah, and what's it all for actually? Why to put so much effort into creating branded audio if you can just go with a complimentary one and don't really give a fuck about that? Yeah, so yeah, it's all about attention and emotional bond with your audience. So about raising interest into a game, because you can use it for promotion as well, for marketing needs and stuff. But also yeah, what we had like this, it's just one small bit of like the comments we get for our soundtracks, like people like, I love the soundtrack, take my money and stuff, I already got it from Bandcamp, but I will buy it on Steam as well and stuff. Yeah, and the other reason why you want to put this much effort in it is for money, because games are commercial product and you want to monetize them, and you can monetize like not all parts of it, but audio is one of the parts you can monetize even further, like with DLCs and add-ons, like selling, like for example on Steam really loves it, and you can give it like for your fans as a donation reward if you're running like a Kickstarter campaign or something like this. And you can like make some merch, like vinyls, CDs, like tapes. Even there are people who really love like collecting tapes, and it can be really nice because merch is something physical that even like it strengthens this bond, like emotional bond with your audience even further. So yeah, this is why you want to invest in your audio because if it's not good, like, and I'm not meaning like this in technical way. The technical part is the easiest here. If it's not good in a creative way, if it's not that much about your game, it's not that much about emotions, nobody really will want to buy it because why they need to buy it if they don't listen it out of the game context. Yeah, so, and yeah, that would be it. If you have like any questions, you can approach me like during the party. If you want to like to join our workshop, you're really welcome. And if you want to ping me, there is a QR code. And
Can
yeah,
you give a little thought on what the workshop is for?
yeah, and the workshop is more like a technical stuff. So we will dive a little bit more on that part of the how to kick off really the collaboration with audio specialists, because sometimes it can be kind of tricky because it feels like we're from a little bit different worlds, but which is not the true. So I will give some ideas on how to build the communication with audio specialists, how to correctly give them creative tasks, and how to really monitor how the process goes. So yeah, so how to give a feedback, because sometimes it can be tricky as well, because audio is something that is not processed in our brain like visuals, for example. So yeah, that's it.
You said if anyone has an own project.
Yeah, and if you have a project that you're currently working on and you have like you want to have like some ideas on how to basically kick off the audio creation part for this, yeah, this can be useful, and we can really talk about your project on this workshop if you're down for it.